What does this mean for Patrick Mahomes if he wins ring number 3? Does he elevate himself anymore, or does this really even matter for his legacy at this point?
Oh, this 100% matters. Ring number 3. Mahomes would be tied for fourth all time in QB Super Bowl wins with Troy Aikman if he is to win this game. The only people ahead of him would be Terry Bradshaw and Joe Montana, who both have 4, and Tom Brady, who obviously has 7. Now, not only that, is Patrick Mahomes would be on his road to challenge for GOAT status by the end of his career. Tom Brady won his third Super Bowl at age 28 in 2005. If Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, he's winning his third Super Bowl at age 28. And so Mahomes, if he does win this, he's on the exact pace Tom Brady is. The biggest difference that could change things is after 2005, the Patriots did not win again until 2015, which was 10 years later, and not until Tom Brady was 38. And, Mahomes probably won't play as long as Tom Brady, but if he can also win Super Bowls in that 10-year range when the Patriots didn't win any, he definitely is one of those guys who has a chance to challenge for GOAT status by the end of his career, bearing health. And that's what I think this win would mean for Patrick Mahomes.
I agree with everything you said, right? To kind of piggyback on to the other quarterbacks that have multiple Super Bowls past 2, so 3 plus. You got Tom Brady, Terry Bradshaw, Joe Montana, Troy Aikman. Okay. Now, there are only 2 other quarterbacks that would have 3 plus Super Bowls and 2 or more regular season MVPs. Joe Montana, Tom Brady. This would rocket ship him directly into the GOAT conversation. Whether or not he is, no, because he doesn't have. I think it would take at least 5 rings for him to be considered in that GOAT category with Tom Brady, just because I think he's way more talented. The most talented quarterback we've ever seen. I don't think that's that far of a stretch. But you need to get the victories. If he wins this Sunday, bold prediction, this rocket ships him into the 3rd all-time slot at quarterback for me. This would mean he would jump Peyton Manning to be the 3rd greatest quarterback of all time, in my opinion. And like you said, he needs this one because he's chasing ghosts at this point. He really has nothing to prove. He's the king of the mountain, and he will be most likely until he retires. So he's really just chasing Tom Brady's ghost. And if he wants to get there, he needs to get this one. But as far as implications, right now, if he were to win Sunday, he would be the 3rd best quarterback of all time, jumping Peyton Manning, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me, for him moving up on that all-time ladder, I have a hard time wanting to place him already because he's not even 30 yet, which is crazy because how often do we talk about where guys rank all time before they turn 30 years old? It's very, very rare for that to ever happen. And for a guy who's just this talented to win at the same time, because we have a lot of guys come through all kinds of sports, not just NFL, who are super talented, but they don't win, right? He's been able to do both. And their team kind of reminds me like just their consistency of winning of the Patriots. Even though, both teams are different, they play different. It's like it feels so similar in a way, the story and the route that this is going, that like at this point, if he wins, it's just about his longevity. Can he keep playing at a high level for a long time? And he's basically guaranteed, like you said, at least that 3rd spot.
Yeah, I mean, the talent is just something I've never watched. I mean, I watched Peyton Manning play, Tom Brady play. I didn't really watch Joe Montana play, so I don't have much to reference there. But Patrick Mahomes is the most talented football player I've ever seen play. And what will probably start happening is what happened with LeBron James once he got his first couple of rings. The constant GOAT debates between who's the best of all time, LeBron James or Michael Jordan, that we've been having for the past decade will begin to happen with Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. I think that's inevitable. If he wins this Sunday, you know, 3 Super Bowls in 6 years, 6 AFC championship appearances, 2 MVPs, this guy's destined to be the GOAT, right? So very similar vibe to LeBron James in that we're going to be constantly debating between Mahomes and Brady over the next 10 or so years of who is the GOAT if he wins this Sunday, which is unfortunate because then we can't actually just enjoy the moment and watch this guy play. We always have to now start pinning up his accomplishments against Brady's, and then this whole spiral of whose side you're on will happen over the next 10 decades. And that's the unfortunate part. But for me, he will be firmly slotted in at number 3 until he wins ring number 4.
It's funny because I know like we've had this conversation on our own throughout the last 2, 3 years, right? Since they went to the Super Bowl against Tom Brady, that this is a guy who has a chance to catch Tom Brady, a guy who's done stuff we had never seen before in the football world, right? With his 7 rings, he played for a long time, well into his early 40s. And now we have another guy who could enter these conversations, and the media hasn't really brought it up a lot, right? You're not seeing GOAT comparisons for Patrick Mahomes on ESPN or Fox Sports, but if he wins that Super Bowl, we're going to start seeing storylines like the chase to 7, right? The chase to 8. Like you said, they're going to start talking about it. It's going to be debated a lot more, and it's going to start to become a lot more common and be more about Patrick Mahomes surpassing Tom Brady than whatever's currently happening that season.
Exactly. Just like LeBron, right? We will fail to appreciate the player in their moment and constantly always be guessing, will he catch Brady? Will he catch Jordan? Right? Will he do this, that, and the other? And every time that he doesn't win a Super Bowl or doesn't make it to a Super Bowl on a given year, it will be deemed a failure. Right? LeBron James went to 8 or 9 finals in a row. And all anyone ever cared about was the fact that he only won 3 of them. Right? So I really hope for Mahomes' sake that he can handle that type of pressure. I know he will. I know he can. But let's just appreciate what we're watching here and not dilute it with the ghosts that he's chasing. That's all I'm asking.